Hey everyone, let me know when you can hear me and see me. Just say something in the chat so I know that you guys can hear me. Hope everyone had a very Merry Christmas. I think me and Sean are going to do a hangout stream later tonight so we can just kind of talk about Christmas and chit chat and everything. But I want to go ahead and get right into this story because it is a sad story. It's a heartbreaking story. It comes with a trigger warning, an extreme trigger warning, you guys. The details of this case are devastating, heartbreaking, and could definitely be triggering if you were raised in a home with abuse or anything like that. So just take that into account that this comes with a trigger warning. So I'm going to go over the general information that we kind of went over Friday, and then we're going to go over the updated information that we have now. Okay, so this is the New York Post. And this is what we went over Friday. And like I said, then we'll go over the updated information because we do have some more information and we do have some information that was not exactly correct that we do know now. All right. Hey, everyone. Let me move my microphone so I can see better. Okay, so this little boy's name is Blue Roland. His sister's name is Taylor Rolland. Blue was 4 years old when he was killed. He was found on his 5th birthday. His sister, I think she was six. There's been some discrepancies between the ages, but I think he was 4 when killed, 5 when found, and I think she is 6. So let's get into the information that we were first given, and then we'll go over the updated information. So Blue Roland, the young boy found buried under floorboards in his Arkansas home, had been dead for 15 weeks, according to court records. This is allegedly, they're saying, he was killed by his mom's boyfriend when his mom's boyfriend, Nathan Bridges, shoved his head in the toilet as a form of punishment. Blue Roland's decaying body was found Friday, the 16th of December, which would have been his 5th birthday, He was wrapped in multiple layers of plastic bags under newly nailed down boards in his home in Morrow. According to court affidavits, his dad's family had raised the alarm after Blue's sister was found with severe burns and the little boy had been kept away from scheduled custody visits. Blue's mom, 28-year-old Ashley Rolland, who had a black eye in her booking photo, quickly blamed her boyfriend. We do know how she got that black eye. A lot of people were thinking that she had been abused by Nathan, but that is not how she got the black eye. From what we are hearing, a neighbor actually showed up when a neighbor caught wind of what was going on, that, Blue was missing, and that the little girl was in the hospital. Neighbor showed up questioning, and she was the one that did that to Ashley Roland's face, which I can't say I blame her. So Ashley Rolland quickly blamed her boyfriend, Nathan Bridges, who was 33 years old. They were both arrested the day that Blue's body was discovered. And I'll show you guys pictures of them again in a minute. So Ashley told the cops that her abusive boyfriend killed Blue on September 9th by shoving his head in the toilet as a form of punishment because Blue bit Nathan's finger. Now, what we know now from what she is saying, she actually stated in her statement to the police that Nathan stuck his finger in Blue's mouth and Blue bit down on it. Which is kind of like, well, if you stick your finger in a 4-year-old's mouth, what the hell do you think he's going to do? He might just bite it. Nobody wants your nasty finger in their mouth, not even a child. So, but that's what I'm hearing the statement say, is that Nathan stuck his finger in Blue's mouth, at which Blue bit down on the finger. Nathan got upset, went and put his head in the toilet, sticking his head into the toilet to the point that it drowned him, apparently. The mom Ashley claimed that she was in the living room at the time that this took place, and that when Nathan Bridges left the bathroom, she went in to see that Blue was struggling to breathe and his body was limp. She told the cops that her boyfriend then cut a hole in their wooden floor, dug a hole into the ground, and buried Blue under their house. I want you to keep in mind that from what we know, Ashley got a divorce last year, and she's been with Nathan since April of this year. So she was with Nathan 5 months at the time that Blue was killed. Okay, 5 months. A witness named Rebecca Fitting told cops that Ashley told her that Blue had come out of the bathroom with his face and body swelling and was foaming out the mouth before collapsing and dying. And she said that she did not know what to do with Blue, so she buried Blue under the floor in their home. Now, that is according to Rebecca Fitting, whose relationship to Ashley is unknown, but I do wonder if she could potentially be the neighbor. I don't know that for sure, but I am wondering if she's the neighbor. Ashley's ex-husband and the father of Taylor and Blue, Dustin Rolland, who was 30 years old, he filed a complaint back in September with the court because he had been refused visitations. So that was September 14th, just a few days after Blue had been killed. He did not know that his son was no longer alive. He just knew that he was not getting to visit his children like he wanted to, like it was court ordered to. So he filed a complaint with the courts, um, just saying, like, listen, we have a court ordered custody here, where my children on, I'm supposed to get my children on certain times, certain dates. I think it was like Friday evenings at 6 p.m., but it was supposed to be supervised visits. And from what I understand of the supervised visits, that was because Ashley had accused her ex, Dustin, of being abusive. So he got supervised visits with the children. I don't know if there was any substance to that, if she had any sort of proof. I don't know. But that limited him to supervised visitations. Um, and he had not been able to see his children in a couple of months. I wonder, we don't know how many months it had been, but I do wonder if it started when she got with Nathan. If when she started dating Nathan in April, if he shut down the visits. So the grandmother on the father's side, Karen Rolland, she was the one who finally called the police after Blue failed to be turned over for a visitation. But his sister was given to her, and she was badly injured. She had badly her head had burn marks, which had scabs. Her stomach was badly burned. The grandmother told NBC News that the girl's clothes were soaked in urine and she could barely walk. And her first request when she got out to the vehicle with her grandmother was she wanted water and something to eat. The grandmother said that her granddaughter had her face had just sheer terror in it. And she begged not to go back to her house. Ashley Rolland told the police that Nathan Bridges also caused the injuries to her daughter Taylor, saying that he held her under hot water as punishment for her behavioral issues. An online fundraiser has been started for Taylor, who is in the hospital, and they've raised a little bit over $31,000. There's going to be doctor bills, that they're going to have to pay for. She's still in the hospital, and she's malnourished. She had cracked ribs, broken wrist. They said she had burns on her body from head to toe. So it looks like she's had x-rays like all over her body, at least on 3 different occasions, which makes me wonder if she's had x-rays at 3 different occasions, if it's due to them like really examining bones to like double check to see if she had any, they are saying that she had a broken wrist, cracked ribs, burns from head to toe. Her hair had been chopped off, not even shaved, like not even cut, like in a way, like if you want to cut your child's hair down, it was just like chopped. Like they just chopped it all up. So it was really wild. Um, Ashley Rolland and Nathan Bridges are accused of capital murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, endangering the welfare of a minor, and battery. I do think they have some additional charges at this point. I'll double check in just a minute. Um, Ashley Rolland, the mother, also faces 2 additional felony charges of permitting child abuse. Both of them are being held without bond and are due in court on January 17th. The children's dad told NBC that he had been trying to fight for his kids. His grandmother had just gotten like grandparents' rights, basically, where this was going to be her first time getting visitation with the kids for what she went through, because for months she has been fighting the system as well. The father said, I wish I could have been there a long time ago, but it was her holding me back from my children. So he married Ashley December 2015. They got a divorce in June of last year. So she was single from June of last year to April of this year. And then April is when she got with Nathan. And it seems like things took a turn because he was not able, the father side of the family was not able to see the kids. He says, I don't want anyone thinking this was my fault. I love the kids very much. Because a lot of people is like, well, how did the dad not spot this? How did the dad not spot this? How did the dad not know? Was he not seeing his children? But it looks like he wasn't. Um, Ashley had accused him, from what we are hearing, Ashley had accused him of being abusive. So therefore, in their custody agreement, he got supervised visits, which was supposed to be with his mom. His mom was supposed to be the one to supervise those visits, which Ashley had stopped adhering to those court orders of letting the father get the children. So then the grandmother went through the courts to try to get some sort of rights as well, like grandparents' rights. And in Arkansas, from my understanding, they used to not have grandparents' rights, but the last couple of years they actually the laws were changed. They have grandparents' rights, and let me see the fundraiser. This is what the fundraiser, and on the GoFundMe, it says for the burial of a child, which more than likely that's going to be taken care of. But even if it's not, if that's taken care of, they could use it for Taylor's medical bills. But this is what it says. So this is for, Blue Roland and his sister Taylor. It says, my friend Karen has been trying to get custody of her grandchild for over a year, or grandchildren for over a year. She went through the proper channels, and 3 months ago, she had to pay a ridiculous amount of money just to get her court order this week for her to see the kids every weekend. So grandmother has been for over a year trying to get custody. So if her son and he got a divorce, if her son and Ashley got a divorce last June, and they say she's been fighting for over a year, she's almost been fighting since right after that happened. Since right after her son divorced Ashley, and they realized it's going to be a problem for them to get to see the children, she, started talking to a lawyer, put out a lot of money, got a lawyer, started going, to court and everything to try to get custody of the children, or at least get some sort of rights to these children. So December 16th was when everything really came to a head. That's when his body was found. December 15th, that Thursday, there was a hearing. Okay, there was a hearing where the judge was going to either allow the grandmother to get visitation as well or not allow it. And what essentially happened was Ashley did not show up to this hearing. The judge granted the visitation, and the judge set the visitation for when the grandmother would have the kids. Friday, 6 p.m., she would get the kids. And then Sunday, at I think it was like 3 p.m., she would turn the kids back over to Ashley. Now, this was going to be her first time getting the kids, and they did have it set in place to where she would call Ashley in advance to say, hey, I'm coming to get the kids. And I think just on this the first time showing up, she was going to bring like a deputy with her to go. Yeah, she was going to bring a deputy with her just for the first time. Yeah, she was granted visitation. This was on Thursday. And Ashley was not there, so Ashley did not know. Ashley wasn't even aware that the grandmother was granted some sort of visitation. So she called the Arkansas State Police that morning saying, I'm going over to get, trying to get my grandchildren who I've not been able to see for quite some time. I was just granted, visitation rights. She got a deputy out there with her, from my understanding. They went, and when grandmother knocked on the door, Nathan and Ashley both opened the door. They both answered the door. And she said, I'm here for my visitation. And Nathan said, well, Blue's not here, he's staying with a friend. But they sent out Taylor. Now, the grandmother said that she actually thought Taylor was Blue when she saw Taylor walking out, like out of the hall into the, into her view. She said, I first thought that she was Blue because I didn't see any hair and she was wearing a cap. So she thought that she was Blue until she got closer to her, realizing that Taylor didn't, she had no hair coming out from underneath that cap. When they got into the vehicle was when she really started figuring out that something was wrong. Ashley told grandmother that Taylor had got had put like lotion or something all over her body and had an allergic reaction, and that's what these sores were. That it was an allergic reaction. She also told grandmother that that Taylor was not feeling that well. So they got Taylor into the vehicle, and like Grandma said, she immediately asked for water and something to drink. She had this look of terror on her, and that's when she started seeing all the sores. She immediately took her to the hospital to have her examined. She was transferred to a bigger hospital, and from what's being said, that Taylor is actually the one that told them that Blue was no longer with us. That come from Taylor. Taylor told her grandmother that Blue had been buried. I don't know what she's seen, but at that point, grandmother called Arkansas State Police and told them that they needed to get the police over to that address to look for Blue. When the police showed up, Ashley's dad was there, and he spoke to the police, and he did tell the police that Ashley had told him that Blue had bitten Nathan's finger, and Nathan took him into the bathroom to discipline him and everything. That she walked in and he was foaming out of the mouth and Blue went limp, and she didn't know what to do, so they buried him. She told her dad that. Her dad gave a statement saying that. At this point, it started getting out, like word started getting out that Blue was missing and that the girl was in the hospital. Neighbors started showing up. People that knew the family started showing up, demanding answers. And the injuries on Ashley, and I'll show you guys, came from one of the neighbors that was there demanding answers. She actually put a beating on Ashley. When so she was there demanding answers. And when she found out what had happened, she beat up Ashley, which I think she absolutely deserved it. So I'll show you guys the picture of Ashley, and this picture's kind of blurry. I'll see if I can find that better photo. So this is the picture of Ashley, her mugshot photo. So she's got a terrible black eye, and at first people was like, "Oh, well, I bet Nathan hit her. Like I bet Nathan had beat on her, and that's why she had the black eye." She does have this huge knot on her head, and in another photo that I found, you can see it better. So I'll try to look at that photo as well. But those injuries were not sustained by her boyfriend Nathan, which I do feel like she's going to say that Nathan was abusive to her, which could potentially be the case. But they were given to her by someone, a neighbor allegedly, that showed up demanding answers. Also, when the police showed up to question Nathan and Ashley to do the welfare check, they say Nathan hightailed it, that he took off running, and that it was really just Ashley left there to give any answers. So let me see if I can find the other photo. Oh, also, this is Nathan. His mother has done an interview. His mother recently did an interview with their local newspaper, and she said that her son is innocent, that he did not hurt anyone. This is Blue. Y'all, he was 4. He was 4. He was 4 years old. Thank you, Missy. Thank y'all so much. This is the home where it happened. And this is This is what they did to her hair. She does look a lot like Blue with the short hair. I could understand why the grandma would think that that was Blue. Also, huge trigger warning. I'm going to show you guys another picture. Now, these pictures have been put up by the family. They have a GoFundMe up. They've posted these pictures. They were the ones in the hospital with her. Her grandmother, Karen, is her paternal grandmother, her grandmother on her dad's side, who was in the hospital with her. Her dad and her grandmother, they've been trying to get visits. They've been calling. The dad had supervised visits, but Ashley was not cooperating, which was why the grandmother took, the appropriate steps that she could take to try to get some sort of custody as well. And it was literally Thursday that the court granted her visitation. She showed up Friday to get them. Friday was when she realized something was wrong. They did not hand Blue over. They handed Taylor over, and she had, the hair was chopped off. She had bruises all over. Let me make this a little bit smaller so you can see the bruises on the injuries on her arms. Also, I'm going to show you guys the injuries on her stomach. If you do not want to see those injuries, I'm going to tell you just to turn away for the next 15 seconds or something, because the injuries on her stomach are gut-wrenching. They are so sad. So I'm going to go ahead and show those. If you don't want to see them, turn away, and I'll let you guys know when you can come back. Okay, so these are the injuries on her. 6-year-old injuries on her. And they said, so the hospital said that she has burn marks from head to toe. From head to toe. These are not, there's injuries on her legs. There's burn marks on her legs. She was malnourished. She was not being fed properly. Her wrist was broken, they said. Let's see what all. So they said she did have to have a surgery. I'm not sure what type of surgery that she had to have. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this off here so you guys can come back with me. All right, anybody that wasn't watching, anybody that was not looking due to the injuries, you guys can come back. We've got that off. So, all right. So this is Taylor. Reports come out saying that she did have a surgery. She recently had a surgery. So because of the surgery, they had to remove the bandages off the burns because she was bandaged at one point. They had to remove the bandages off the burns. She had to have a surgery. She also had to have x-rays. They said there is, they have to check out, there's fluid on her brain. They're looking at her spine. There's burns head to toe, head, arms, legs. She had bite marks on her. Bite marks on her. 3 broken ribs, a fractured wrist, and some of her wounds were infected. Some of her wounds were infected. Bite marks, which obviously, if she has bite marks, they're going to be able to tell who bit this little girl. That's not going to be too hard to figure that one out. I mean, teeth, your teeth imprints are almost like your freaking fingerprints. It's distinct. You can figure that out. There was more stuff that I want to share with you guys. Give me just a second. All right. I am reading that the DCFS have been called on Ashley Rolland. I'm reading this. The DCFS have been called on Ashley Rolland a couple of times. It doesn't say by who, only that DCS have been contacted on Ashley in regards to Blue and Taylor. Someone said, why did they not call Department of Human Services to report abuse and suspected abuse? And someone said that they actually did call and report it, but no action was ever taken. So, if that is the case, if DCFS was contacted, if people reported suspected abuse and nothing ever happened, then, that could potentially fall back on them, which I think that it should, honestly. So here is the arrest affidavit. I think that's what this is. We're going to go over it together. All right, let's see. Can you guys see that? Okay. It says on December 26, 2022, Lee County deputies were requested by Karen Rolland. I don't think that was December 26th. It was December 16th. Somebody made a typo on that. Okay, so December 16th, Lee County deputies were requested by Karen Rolland to perform a civil standby at 211 Front Street to pick up two children from Ashley Rolland. So that's when she requested, because that was going to be her first time getting the children for her first visit after getting court order visitation. So she contacted them. Ashley brought the daughter. This one says Ashley brought the daughter out to her, but I read another report saying that Nathan and Ashley both answered the door. So it was Ashley brought her daughter Taylor and said that her son Blue was not at the residence. Also read a different report saying that Nathan was the one that said Blue was at a friend's house. Taylor had apparent injuries that had scabbed over the top of her head. Ashley claimed it was an allergic reaction to something. The child was taken to Forest City Hospital, where staff determines the child had been severely burned and was transported to a different hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. Kelly Rolland then contacted Lee County deputies to report she had information that Blue was possibly deceased at, it says her daughter's residence, but it should say her ex-daughter-in-law. Deputies arrived at the address and met the father of Ashley, Timmy Childers, who reported that Ashley told him the Blue was dead inside the home and described where he was located. I wonder why the father had not contacted the police. I wonder why the father never contacted the police to say, hey, my daughter just told me that her son is dead. You don't think that's important information? You know? Lee County deputies entered the home to find Blue and they entered the home to look for Blue and to render aid if he was alive. Deputies located where Blue was reported to be and found newly nailed down boards. Deputies removed the boards and found disturbed earth underneath. Deputies removed the top layer of the dirt and found a child's flip-flops, red and blue blanket. After removing the top layer of earth, it released a pungent odor of decay. Deputies exited the home and called for the Arkansas State Police to take over the investigation. Special Agent Travis May, Arkansas State Police, interviewed Timmy Childers on Front Street outside of the residence. Childers stated that his daughter Ashley had told him that Blue had recently come out of the bathroom, collapsed, and died. Ashley allegedly attempted resuscitation and told her father that Blue was buried under the floor in the hallway. S.A. May then interviewed Rebecca Fitting on Front Street of the address where I saw the home. Rebecca said she heard something was wrong, came over to talk to Ashley. Rebecca told Ashley that Blue had came out of the bathroom with his face and body swelling, foaming out the mouth before collapsing and dying. Ashley told Rebecca she didn't know what to do and had buried Blue under the floorboard of a residence. So on two occasions, she's told two different people that she was the one that buried him. That she didn't know what to do, so she buried him. But she's told police that Nathan buried him. I want to say this next paper tells us about more. So like I said, from what I've heard, Taylor was the one that told her grandmother. Taylor told her grandmother that Blue was deceased. Makes you wonder what she saw. So this is, here it tells you the defendant was informed that he or she was charged with the following. This is for Nathan Bridges. It says, let me zoom in on this. Nathan's charges: capital murder, class Y felony, abuse of a corpse, class C felony, tampering with physical evidence, Class D felony, endangering the welfare of a minor, first degree felony, um, Class D felony, battery in the first degree, Class B felony. It says down here, public defender appointed, Arkansas Public Defender Commission. So I guess he's got a public defender. Court date is set January 17th, 2023, 9 a.m. Bond is hereby set at no bond. And it says here, no contact with, it says no contact with something. What does that say? No contact with something child. I can't see what that says. But it definitely makes me wonder what all Taylor saw. Her grandmother stated that she had this look of sheer terror on her face when she finally got her in the vehicle. She was scared. She was hungry. She was thirsty. She was scared. It makes me wonder what happened, what she saw. And it also makes me wonder if grandmother had not have shown up to get her, would she have been next? I have this feeling, no contact with Taylor, the little girl. Probably so. It's probably what it's saying, no contact with the little girl. So yeah, that would make a lot of sense if it's no contact. Now he does have children of his own, and a lot of people has went to his Facebook and they're seeing his children and they're thinking that it's it's Blue and Taylor, and they're making the comments like, those poor children. Yeah, no contact with minor child. That makes a lot of sense, and that is what it looks like. No contact with minor child, which could potentially mean his children, right? If it says no contact with minor child, does it mean all minor children or Taylor? But a lot of people are going to his Facebook and seeing the photos of him with his children, and they're assuming that it's Ashley's children. Also, one thing that people noticed is Ashley and Nathan both stopped really posting on their Facebook in the last couple of months. I think he stopped around May, and she stopped around the same time, which had people asking questions like, right after you guys got together, y'all stopped really posting on your social media that much. That's kind of weird, right? I don't know, it makes me believe that once, oh yeah, that is what it says. That is what it says. Wow, I'm just noticing that. Okay, it says no contact with minor child T. Rolland. That is what it says. I saw that T. Rolland and didn't really pay much attention to it, so I just thought that it was like whoever wrote that was signing their signature to it, but it does say no contact with minor child T. Rolland. That's awesome, because neither one of them should be able to have contact with that child. The mother should not be able to have contact with the child. The mother's boyfriend should not be able to have contact with the child, and at least then Taylor can feel safe. There was something else. I got all my notes here, so let me double check and make sure I have everything else, and then we could just talk about it. Yeah, so the conversation happened on Friday. The mom got the black eye Friday, before she was arrested. I did also hear that there was reports that Nathan had been abusive to his ex. Also, isn't it wild that he actually stuck his finger in Blue's mouth? He stuck his finger in Blue's mouth, and when Blue's reaction was to bite it, he decided to drown him in the toilet. Here's my question: if he's already allowed contact with one child, why on earth would he ever be around any children? I don't think he's going to be getting out of jail anytime soon. I see questions of why are they not in school? Why was Taylor and Blue not in school? Taylor was actually being homeschooled, and Blue was not old enough to be in school. Karen, the grandmother, and the dad had not been able to see the kids in months. People close to Nathan say that Nathan has a history of being abusive to his ex. Grandmother has started going through the proper channels to get custody or some sort of visitation. She has spent a ridiculous amount of money just to get the court order that she finally got the week all this took place, not knowing that Blue had actually been dead since September 9th. Um, so I do believe, from what I read, Arkansas is a death penalty state, so they could potentially get the death penalty. And right now, like I said, there is a GoFundMe that's raised over $31,000. Make sure there's nothing else that I'm missing here. Do you guys have any questions? We'll just kind of chit chat about it. Anybody watching on replay? That I think that's all the information that I have. Any updated information that we have. One of the things that was updated is Taylor's state of where she's at right now. She just went through a surgery. She does have other injuries: the broken wrist, cracked ribs, brain fluid on the brain. I don't know what would cause an injury like that, like fluid on the brain. I'm not sure. Um, she's had several X-rays, which makes me wonder if there's more broken bones that we're going to find out about. Um, Burns from head to toe. Yes, Blue had been dead since September 9th. He was killed on September 9th. Um, Taylor was malnourished. She was not fed appropriately. The first thing she asked for was food and water. Let's see if there's anything else. You guys have any questions? Yeah, you guys please make sure you go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. It would really help me out. Um, YouTube hasn't done anybody, they haven't done me any favors lately with pushing my content into the algorithm. So if you guys hit that thumbs up button, it would really mean the world to me. Also, if you're new here and you're not subscribed to the channel, these are one of the cases that we're going to be following. Blue Roland, we cover the Athena Strand case, Quentin Simon case. There's several cases that we've been following. Definitely going to be covering more cases. Do we know where Taylor will go when released from the hospital? More than likely, Taylor will go to the grandmother's house. Yes, the grandmother found them. The grandmother actually had just gotten visitation rights because she had been fighting for visitation or some sort of custody for like a year, and she had not seen her grandkids in several months. Okay, if she was thrown or bumped around her head very hard, that would cause bleeding or fluid on the brain. Okay, yes, this girl's going to need intensive therapy. Absolutely, yes, she definitely will. See if there's any more information. Yeah, so one of the forms of punishment that he would do to Taylor is he would put her in like boiling water. Like he would like put her in the bath and like run scalding hot water, or that would be his form of punishment to Taylor. So where was the dad? The dad was, I mean, the dad had visitation and he had not been getting the kids. So he had filed court documents with the court trying to have her held in contempt because he was not getting to see his children. The grandmother is the dad's mom. Her name is Karen. Now, Nathan Bridges' mother, she did an interview and she is saying that her son is innocent, that he didn't do this. Yes, she is at a hospital in Memphis. It just seems like he was just sadistic and hated children. I mean, that's the way that it seems. Okay, so it says the grandmother, this is what I'm reading. Um, the dad's mom contacted the boyfriend's mom. The Karen Rolland contacted Nathan Bridges' mom several times, like trying to get her to maybe speak to her son so she could see her grandkids or something. But Nathan's mother was always rude and said that she didn't get in her son's business. So Nathan's mother was always rude to the kid's paternal grandmother, who called her looking for help. Like, hey, we're not getting to see our grandkids. Do you think you can talk to your son? And she was rude and said, I don't get my son's business. Thank you, Briette. Yes. There are no reports of drug abuse. I've seen someone asking about that as well, and I don't see any reports of drug abuse. So how do we know it was the stepdad and not the mom? Honestly, we don't know who it was. Now, the stepdad fled. I mean, when the police showed up there the second time, the stepdad took off. Yeah, the scars on her stomach do look like third-degree burns from scalding water. Either way, the mother was 28 years old and the boyfriend was 33. Either way, nobody stopped each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way you could be in that house for that long and not know that something was amiss. If the mother did it, the boyfriend didn't notice that Blue had been missing since September. And then when grandma showed up to get the kids, Nathan was the one that allegedly said, oh, Blue's staying at a friend's house. So did he really believe that? Yeah, Taylor, more than likely, Taylor knows. Now, allegedly, they're saying that Taylor was the one that told her grandmother that Blue was dead. Yes, mother is 28 years old. Oh, let me find that other photo. It's a better photo of her injuries. There it is. Okay, so you guys can see she's got that big old black eye. She's got some marks over here on that side, and she's got like it's kind of swollen above, like all of this. Like all of this is swollen. And then she's got the marks over here, and she's got that black eye. That was given her by someone in the community, like a neighbor, that showed up demanding answers for where Blue was. Yeah, more than likely Taylor has disclosed the. I mean, yeah, I'm sure she has. That's probably how they know. Well, Ashley allegedly told some of the stuff, but I'm sure we're going to find out much more. Exactly, Destiny. This is Blue. Sweet little boy. Who's only, I mean, he bit someone's finger because the person stuck their finger in his mouth. This man stuck his finger in Blue's mouth and Blue bit it. But I mean, that wasn't the first time that he probably did something like that to Blue. It was just the one time that it ended the way that it did, more than likely. Um, I think the court system kind of failed as well because the grandmother says she's been trying for a year. She's been fighting to get some sort of custody or some sort of visitation for a year. The stepdad had supervised visitation, but he wasn't seeing the kids, and he had reported it. Like he had reported that he wasn't getting to see his kids, and like it was kind of ignored. So, Christine, it is a scary one. It comes with a trigger warning. It's a heartbreaking story. So I'll never understand it either. Like, if you don't want your kids, give them to somebody. Let them know I cannot handle my kids. I think I would freak out. Like, maybe do something. So, somebody, like, put it on your Facebook. I can't take care of my kids. And like as sad as I am about that, I think they would be better off with somebody else. Does anybody? I guarantee you, somebody would take the children. You know. So it's a very sad situation. Um, let me see if I'm sure her page is. Probably, yeah. Ironically enough, nobody's really commented much on the mother's page, like the mother of Nathan, Karen Rolland. Yes, the dad had the dad did have visitation set up, but she was not turning the kids over for visitation. Oh wow. Please pray for a child on my block. She's safe with the neighbor through the holidays, but unknown from there. What do you mean? Does she not like nobody can take her? Like nobody, she doesn't have anywhere to go. I don't know if this is. Okay. There is a post that says, with the grandmother's approval, I would like to see the community get together. I want to make this the best Christmas ever for Karen's granddaughter that is still in the hospital. She will have a long road to recovery. If anyone is wanting to help, please message me, Johnny Jones, Jonnie Jones. Um, I will post a list below of things she wanted for Christmas and things that she loves. She loves unicorns, Paw Patrol, Barbie dolls, Frozen, cats. Her shoe size is size 13, and her clothes size is size 6. Wow, she's in the exact same size as Kennedy. Yeah, the dad was definitely getting the runaround for visitation. Thank you, Melanie. Absolutely, Shonda. So right now she's still in the hospital. That's the dad there. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and end this one in just a little bit. I'm gonna try to put out a little bit more content today. I'm gonna try to do just a hangout live stream to catch up with everybody through the holidays. Um, Jennifer, become a foster mom first. It's easier to adopt through that route. I would so take in more kids if Sean would let me, but Sean's like, we got 6. But I'm one of those women, when I see babies, I'm just like, my heart melts and I get extreme baby fever and I want to have another one. But I'm like terrible when I'm pregnant. I have terrible pregnancies. My body really can't handle it. It tries to like, I try to go into preterm labor starting at like 28 weeks. From there, I'm like always on bed rest. So, but my niece actually had a baby, and she was like thinking about putting the baby up for adoption because she's on the younger side. And I was like, Sean, he was like, but I think she ended up keeping the baby. I'm pretty sure. So, but anyways, you guys, please be in prayer for this family. They are going to need it. This little girl, like I said, she's in the hospital. The grandmother's already put out a lot of money. They said she spent a ridiculous amount of money in the past year trying to get some sort of custody, visitation, or something. Giving the runaround this whole time. Her son not getting to see the kids like he's supposed to see the kids. Probably false accusations against him because it was said that he was getting supervised visitations because Ashley accused him of abuse. So more than likely, it was probably going out on a limb here to say it's probably false accusations just for her to keep some sort of control over, the kids. So he just couldn't get the kids on the weekends and go and do as he pleased. It had to be like supervised visits. So pray for this family. She's already spent a lot of money trying to get custody, and now to find out that it didn't happen in enough time because her grandson is dead. Her granddaughter has went through like the most traumatic event of her life or sequence of events of her life. Her life has probably been a living hell for the last few months. So just pray for them. Medical bills coming up. They just went through Christmas. So they're going to need the prayers. You guys, please be in prayer for them. If there's any more updates, I'll hop on here and let you guys know. I'm going to do at least one more like live about updates. I was trying to see if there was any updates on Madalena Kojakari, but I'm not seeing anything. I'll double check. And then I'm going to try to do like a hangout live tonight. Just kind of keep your eye on my page to see if there's anything. I need to look at Shanquella Robinson as well to see if there's any updates on that. I haven't even heard if they've extradited one of the girls that was arrested for her murder. But yeah, just keep your eye on the page or follow me over on my Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I usually always post over on my Twitter and Instagram and Facebook before I go live. So if you follow me there, you might can see it. But yeah, I'd have a baby every year for the rest of my life if I could. I have a 4-year-old son. I love having another kid, but I'm single, 37, so I feel like I'm too old. I don't want to do it again. I can definitely understand that. I want to do it alone. That's tough. But if you guys don't mind, give this video a thumbs up. I will keep you guys updated, and I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.